So, ladies and gentlemen, on the screen with me today is former number 8 in the world in singles and tennis, number 2 in the world in doubles, and arguably the best tennis doubles player in the world, multiple Grand Slam champion, gold medalist. And here to not talk about tennis, but talk about pickleball, ladies and gentlemen, say hi to Jack Sock. Jack, how are you, buddy?
Hey Dave, I'm good. I'm good. Thank you for having me. Appreciate the intro and excited to talk some pickle for sure.
Yeah, so let's get right to the big news that was announced over the weekend. You are going to make your debut in May at the North Carolina Open, May 4th through the 7th. Why this tournament? Why now? I know it's in your backyard, but tell us all more.
Yeah, it's obviously location wise, very convenient. My wife and I reside here in Charlotte, and actually the lifetime that the event will be played at is I've played a bunch of tennis there, especially on some not very good weather days. The facility is unbelievable there. I think it's the biggest lifetime in the country, or one of. Yeah, it's very familiar. As people may know, I've obviously gotten involved in pickleball and been playing more and more, and kind of really it's really got interested after the event in Vegas in December. I'd enjoyed playing before, but very recreationally, and kind of here and there. And after the Vegas event, it got me fully hooked, and have spent some more time playing with people around here, kind of whoever can find to play, and even at some tournaments, some tennis tournaments, as you were a part of in Dallas in February, kind of playing when I can, and just trying to get better, and I enjoy every minute of being on the pickleball court, outside of tennis, obviously, which is still full time. I know there was so a lot. I had a lot of messages, a lot of conversations to be had to clarify that. Of course, I'm still playing tennis full time, and still have a lot of goals in tennis. But I do enjoy playing pickleball, and at some point in the future, we'll probably partake in a more full time pickleball.
So you enter. It's in your backyard, as you mentioned. It's basically a home. You know, most people that enter their first pro tournament have a hard time getting partners. So why don't you share with everybody, if they haven't heard, who you're playing with and how did that come to pass?
Shit, man, I got lucky. I got the number one player in the world, number one female player in the world for mixed doubles, in Anna Lee Waters. For you pickleball fans, I'm sure you've heard of her. Miss Triple Crown, dominating the sport. So yeah, I lucked out there. That was that. Actually, both partners, I should say, both partners kind of started at the Vegas event in December, where I was fortunate enough to play pretty decent, and kind of hopefully show some skill, and some knowledge of the game, and was able to have some conversations with different pros while being there for the weekend. And yeah, it was mentioned there, conversations, questions asked, and didn't necessarily know it'd be the Charlotte event, but so happened my tennis schedule worked out. I'll be home for that week and weekend, and yeah, they were both interested in playing, and so mixed doubles with Anna Lee Waters, and men's doubles will be with Mr. Energy himself, Tyson McGuffin, who I've gotten to know pretty well now. He was on my team in Vegas, and spent some time around he and his amazing wife, and they have some great kids and awesome family in general, and his personality plus mine. I think there'll be some fireworks in a good way on that side of the court there in Charlotte. I'm not afraid to show some personality, and some energy as well. So I think there'll be some some chest bumps, some maybe even some talking to the other side. Who knows? We'll see what happens.
Nothing wrong with a little chirping, Jack. I love
No,
it.
no, no. Got
I
to do
love
it.
it.
Got to do it.
Yeah. So The bubbly event that you mentioned in Vegas was not that you need a coming out party, but as far as people seeing you and some of your tennis compadres play, what about that just sort of, you mentioned it, but what was it, the play? Was it the caliber of opponent? Because you and I talked after that, and you really had a spark in your eye after that when you got to see the what your tennis to pickleball background looked like against the best players in the world.
Yeah, I think honestly, I went into that weekend obviously excited to play the event in general. Whether it went well, whether it went bad, I think it was just going to be super fun. The tennis guys involved, are all good friends. Obviously, spent a lot of time around John and Sam over the years, and John's even like a big brother to a degree to me. So I
Literally.
was just stoked. Yeah, literally was just stoked to be a part of it. And as a fan of pickleball, I can say I'm a bit of a nerd when it comes. I've watched a lot of streams and a lot of video and stuff, just as appreciating the best players playing, kind of seeing how they do it, what makes them so good. So for that event, it was exciting for me as well to uh, knowing that I felt like I was decent at pickleball. I was excited to see kind of how I would stack up against the best players, and um, I felt I felt comfortable. I mean, I felt comfortable playing. Obviously, some nuances and different things at the sport, and a little bit of strategy and point construction that needed to work on that I took away from it. But in general, I was honestly I expected to go in and maybe feel a little uncomfortable potentially with the amount of experience and time that everyone there that has put into the sport,
Yep.
which is a lot more than me. And but felt pretty comfortable and felt with just a little bit of time. Don't see why I can't compete and or win against a lot of them. So that kind of brought some spark as well, knowing that I didn't feel too far off, from playing with them regularly, and kind of why I put some time into some different and some more time into practice, playing practice games and doing a few things. So yeah, I'm pretty excited. Thought I played well there, but I think I could say I'm even better now.
Yeah, so for all of you that have seen the highlights, look out. I can assure you he is better now. I've seen it firsthand. So look out, everybody. Sam Query, again, you mentioned Sam, a good friend of yours, sort of was the first to make the big declaration. Now, there's one major difference here. Sam retired from tennis and jumped into pickleball. You, as you stated before, are still going and playing well. Have you talked to Sam? What have you learned from his journey? Obviously, you were way better at getting the best player in the world to stand next to you, so that's impressive. But have you talked to him about what it was like to play pro, or what have you learned from what Sam's journey's been here so far?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, he's also a close friend, and even gotten close over the last few years. I feel like, and feel like we were all a couple of the Americans, the guys that are close to them. I feel like we were all along for his journey of transitioning in, even while he was, playing his last few months, last season of tennis. He was updating us all the time on what was going on with pickleball, and the rest of us have, we'd play, maybe at home with some friends every once in a while. I didn't really understand everything that goes into professional pickleball, scheduling, all that. Didn't really know tournaments or anything. So I felt like he always kept us up to date, which was fun, and it was fun to be along for his journey, and it was exciting as well. I mean, he's a tennis. I mean, he's a legend, for us, and he was a big name in tennis, and had an incredible career, a lot of amazing accolades. So, I think in his experience there, obviously the racket, sport, hand-eye coordination, can translate over well. And I think it was interesting. I think with that comes the expectation of you're going to be so good at pickleball because you played tennis. And I've tried to explain to some people now that I've played or played in, the event with the pros and stuff. The tennis players that think that they're going to jump over and just kill it or dominate, the top pickle players are really good, and it's not going to be as easy as some think. I think with a little more time, Sam is obviously getting better and better. It's just like tennis when we all started, and when none of us jumped in, we were all good juniors, whatever. You're not just going to jump in and do really well. But watching Sam and even these MLP events he's played recently, I think he's playing great. Playing the last couple of weeks in Palm Springs, we're out there for New Wells. We got some pickle in on the side, and nice. I feel like he's playing great. And I hope he continues to keep loving it and keep improving and get some great results. Sam's one of the greatest guys that you'll meet, and it's been fun. It's been fun to watch it, his journey into pickle, and I hope he can do some great things and silence some of these haters that seem to come out on the internet troll.
Yeah, couldn't agree more with how great a guy Sam is. So you mentioned Jack a little bit, and I think people are very interested, especially coming from you who play tennis at such a high level. What are the things for you that have translated really well from tennis to pickle, and what don't, and what have you had to sort of adjust?
Yeah, I think I feel like I've talked about it before, and it's in the most modest way, most humble way. The things that I'm good at in tennis, kind of the handsy chess match, and obviously that shows a little more in doubles. Singles is tougher to kind of display. The more handsy kind of finesse feel stuff, but I feel like I've shown that on the doubles court over the years a good amount. And I've said to a lot of people that ask, why I'm so interested in pickleball is I've kind of always summed it up as the things that I think I'm really good at in tennis was kind of made into a sport, which is pickleball, which is the chess matches, the cat and mouse, the kind of feel plus, power at times, all that type of stuff. So yeah, I mean, I feel comfortable with the types of shots you need to hit, the strategy, doubles, having chemistry with somebody, all those types of things. So, on the positives, that's where I feel very comfortable. It's different. I also feel in the sense of, especially in doubles and tennis, if you get a chance, it can be pretty aggressive at times. Obviously, things are happening fast, all happening fast. Pickleball, you have to slow down a pretty good amount. You kind of pick and choose your times to be aggressive. You got to be more patient for sure over the course of a game, matches, whatever it is. So tennis is kind of more full steam ahead a lot of the time, and obviously the obvious smaller court, all that type of stuff. So less court to cover and all that. But I think the cat and mouse, the handsy stuff, I love doing. So it's very much enjoyable.
Yeah, no, I mean, obviously being the doubles just beast that you are in tennis really sets you up. For somebody that's more of a baseline tennis player, what would you tell them as they're saying, hey, maybe I should try pickle? What's going to work for them that doesn't have the jack sock hands mechanisms that can cause all that trouble?
I would honestly just say get out on a pickle court and spend as many hours you can at the kitchen line and work on every direction of dinking, different types of situational stuff or just drills, just being comfortable up there, slowing down the mind, just also be accepting the fact that you might have to hit 10, 8, 10, 15 in a row until you get the ball you want, which is a thing with sometimes you play the rec games and stuff, you can get away with some things that I experienced in Vegas that you're not going to get away with. They're not going to make too many mistakes as top pros. So just get comfortable with being patient until you get the right ball. So yeah, definitely patience and get comfortable dinking and dropping.
all day. The idea of the drop, I'm certainly not a tennis player at your level, not even close, but that's just a shot that just you don't hit in tennis, and you close and smoke a ball into the third row off the bounce. So yeah,
Yeah,
it's fun to have that nuance. I think a lot of the
yeah,
pickleball fans always love, everyone loves, whether you're a top tennis player or a 3-5 rec pickleball player. Everyone wants to know, well, how'd you get started in this sport? So what's your pickle origin story there, Jack?
honestly, when I was living in Kansas City, so probably four, probably 4 years ago, I'd say, probably the year before I came out here to North Carolina. Sorry, there's a bug there. Probably the year before I came out here, was living in a country club that had tennis courts, and I would practice up there some tennis, and then I would play golf, and kind of had a group of guys that I'd play golf with, and one of the guys would kept talking about pickleball, and I didn't know what it was at the time at all. And he was like, "You should come up and play sometime." Obviously tennis background, you should be okay at it. And didn't really take him up on it for a little bit, but I knew they had a group that would go up there and play on Sundays. And I was home one weekend. I was like, I'll come up and see how it is. And even then, had a blast. Was really not that good. Just had no idea what was going on. Felt like the guy I played golf with had wristbands on and was super ready, had his paddle all doctored up, and I was like, I have no idea what's happening. And also kind of pissed me off to a degree, if I could say that, because it was uh, less athletic people I was playing with that were kind of dominating me, and I was like, what's happening? And just from there, it kind of also sparked the interest of wanting to get a little bit better. Got the competitive juices flowing, and so I dabbled in it from time to time. Still didn't play that much at all. And since I feel like I've been out here in Charlotte, we have a great facility here with tennis and pickle access, and kind of gotten a good group of people to play with, at least once a week, hopefully twice, and maybe more, if I'm home for a little bit. So yeah, it was yeah, I went from very sporadic to probably at least once a week when I'm home.
Yeah, I served in volley the first time I played. I had no idea what
Yeah.
that kitchen thing was. You got to close, Jack.
No,
Come on, man.
I think I lobbed every second ball when I play. I'd panic and just threw the ball up and realized that didn't work at all. So yeah, definitely got a little better.
So you mentioned you're playing with some good players there in town. I think it's interesting for me, from somebody I know you want to do very well in tennis. How do you get ready for this pickleball thing? Keep your tennis at a high level? Time for both? Does one hurt the other? Walk us through that.
Yeah, no, I mean, I think also I feel like even if I'm around tennis people or see some pickle people, since people now realize I like to play. That it's almost the first question. It doesn't interfere with the other, and I'm like, no. I mean, obviously, tennis is still the goals. I have aspirations still I want to accomplish, and that takes up most of my day, which is kind of why if it works, usually one day a week can plan to play at night with some people, some pickleball at night with some people. And if I can get more in based on the training schedule for tennis and everything, then great. But yeah, no, I don't see any interference with it at all, honestly. When I play pickle, especially with the pretty good group of players, it happens quick, and it happens from a lot closer there at the kitchen when the speed ups, everything happen. And then you get out to a tennis court, although the ball is physically moving faster, it honestly feels a little bit slower, which is kind of nice. And kind of feel like you have more time to react and do things. So I actually enjoy kind of going back and forth when I can, and kind of just try to fit pickle in, when possible. But yeah, the tennis training schedule definitely trumps the pickleball.
For sure. So what's the give us a sense for the tennis community's got to spend a lot of time with you, the pickleball community just a little bit. Some fun facts about Jack Sock that you can share in any way?
Oh man, some fun facts about me. Geez, I don't even know. I mean, I would have said before that I guess when I was playing, been playing tennis full time for a long time now. That golf was kind of my outlet, which it still is. I love to golf, but pickleball is slightly taken over that role. So I very much enjoy both in my downtime, but yeah, they're getting pretty equal, which is I never thought I'd say. Uh, some fun facts. Yeah, Midwest guy originally from Lincoln, Nebraska. Grew up in Kansas City my whole life. Out here in Charlotte. Very much a homebody. My wife and I have two mini golden doodles, and anytime I'm not busy doing something, I love just being here at home and spending time with the little fur babies and hanging out and kind of relaxing. Obviously, the schedule of tennis is very hectic and long seasons and long travel. So yeah, I don't know. Big trash TV lover. Love some reality TV. My wife and I like to binge some crazy shows, but yeah, I don't know. Seems hopefully that's fun enough.
Yeah, that's great. And a proud member of, even though I'm a Steeler fan, I'll give it to you, of Chiefs
Oh
Kingdom over
man,
there.
Chiefs Kingdom, die hard Nebraska Husker fan, Kansas City Chiefs fan, and Kansas City Royals. Those are my squad.
There you go. So if you see Jack and you're wearing any of those colors, he'll love you. Maybe he won't peg you with one of those vicious volleys that he's got. You mentioned you still have some tennis goals and aspirations. What are those?
Yeah, I mean, I think since I had an unfortunate couple of years with some rough injuries, put me out for extended periods of time, and for people that don't know, in the tennis world, it's pretty tough if you get injured for a long period of time. We're an annual ranking based tour, and if you don't play for a bit and can't defend your points from the previous year, you're kind of at a loss. And so for me, it was literally going from went from top 10 in the world at the end of 17 to having a decent year at 18, still still maybe top 50, and then first tournament of the year in 19, tore ligaments in my thumb on my right hand. So pretty much put me out almost the rest of that year, and so it went from the top 10 and then 50 to literally unranked. So it was a bit of a mental challenge and conversation with family and friends and everything and team to get the motivation to want to start over, which I did when I was 18 years old. It was basically doing that all over again. So and I'm so glad I did it. Been had some tough times. I mean, grinding, through training and everything to get the body, ready and back to playing shape, and closed in on, top 100 again, real close last year, and still that's kind of the first stepping stone for me, was to kind of get back in the top 100, play all the slams and singles consistently, and then kind of work my way up from there. Yeah, I mean, I honestly, that's the first big goal, and what I can do from there, I still think I can get inside there, pretty far. I can be a top 50 player, and try to, compete to make some, good runs at tournaments, and just kind of make the most of it. If, different part of my life and career, having family of my own with the fur babies, and hopefully some human ones at some point. And it feels nice now to kind of play for more than myself as well, and kind of do it for the people around as well. So yeah, kind of just make the most of the time I have left is kind of the goal.
Love it. Well, we wish you well with that. Last two for you. The challenge to get partners in pickleball is a big thing, both the pros and just your your friends playing in a rec tournament at a 4-0 level. What's the getting partners for tennis thing like? Is there anything to learn from that, or do you play with your buddies, or how does that work? I'm just intrigued
Yeah,
personally by that.
yeah, it's different kind of on the position, the situation you're in, I guess, or what situation you want to be in. Obviously, there are doubles only players in tennis that don't, partake in singles at all. Doubles specialists, I guess, as you call them,
Sure.
and they're more in the potential high school drama ish type feel of like, we have a set partnership for the year. If it's not going well, I may dump you, go to someone else, try it out. And it seems a little more stressful of like planning out, having certain rankings to get in tournaments. But also, if the partnership works there, do very well. At tournaments financially, it can be great if you're doing super well. But I would say more for guys that are kind of hybrid that'll play singles and doubles and want to play both. It's usually you just get on your phone and shoot a text to a buddy of yours and hope if they want to play, great. If not, maybe look at the list at the tournament and see who pretty well and can have fun with. And yeah, if you do, great. If you don't, it's all right as well. So for me, it's usually start with big man John Isner and see if he wants to play, which is few and far between at this point for him. And then usually from there, just kind of look at who I kind of vibe with well and could have a good time on the court with.
So we've got you in North Carolina. We understand that tennis is your thing. Will we
Yep.
see you again in a pro pickleball tournament later this year?
There's been conversations, there's been schedules looked at. Tough to say. I think you could count on seeing me back in Vegas
Nice.
for the bubly event. And I know the draft for the MLP for the following year is also that same weekend. So I guess we shall see if I potentially walk the carpet there and kind of see where we're at. But definitely, if they have the tennis guys again and all that, I'd love to be a part of that bubly event. And that was an absolute blast.
Okay, so lots of little intrigue there from Mr. Sock. I love it.
We shall see.
Last question for you is, what are your expectations in North Carolina?
My humble expectations or my honest expectations?
I want your real ones, baby.
Yeah, no, I think I think I'm mixed, playing with the best girl in the world. And I know a lot of people will say if we do well, that's obviously Anna Lee can win with anybody. If we don't do well, it'll definitely be my fault. I will say I fully back myself. I have a lot of confidence in myself on the pickle court. I think I've shown a small glimpse of it to some people since I haven't played much of anything. But I think come first weekend of May, I think I might surprise some people with my level and maybe surprise some people if we're playing on Sunday. So that's honestly the goal. I think it's definitely doable in both mixed and men's. But and who knows, maybe I'll be playing on Thursday in singles as well. We'll see.
Okay, there you go. Well, I look forward to calling the action there and seeing Jack Sock in action. And Jack, thanks so much for taking the time. I know there's so much excitement around this. You've been such a great advocate for pickleball, and I know the North Carolina fans, it's smart to start with a home game. You're going to have a good crowd behind you there, and
Yep.
really appreciate you becoming part of what we're growing here with the PPA Tour. And I wish you best in your practice. We wish you the best in your tennis. And again, thanks so much for the time today.
Of course, Dave. Come to Charlotte early. We'll get some rec games in. Let me know.
There we go. All right. Jack Sock,
Yes.
ladies and gentlemen. First weekend in May in the North Carolina Open. Can't wait to see him. Thanks, Jack. Take care, buddy.
Appreciate you. Yeah. Thank you very much.
Bye.